Hello there and welcome to the Impact Zone podcast. We're back again talking more TNA wrestling shenanigans, and today I want to talk about Slammiversery because we're on the road to Slammiversery. Now, this is more I'm going to be discussing the whole build and the potential for them to sell out and that sort of thing, because we have yet to get a card or anything for the show yet. So, I know they're probably going to do that soon. You can kind of see some of the potential matchups and things like that could go down at the show. So it's certainly not like there's not a tease, and there's always that whole thing of saying, well, kind of what the roster has, so you kind of know who will be there. So the star power certainly is there, but I said this before, I say it about, if we ever want TNA to come out of the ground, we've got to sell this place out, because this is one of the biggest arenas that they've held in forever, and we need to show them, hey, if you actually book the big arenas, we'll come out, but we can't just let them, drag their feet and say, oh yeah, well, people will come and we've got our loyal fans and whatnot. Yes, certainly, but to fill that arena, or to think about filling that arena, you really need more people than that. Yes, of course, again, like I want to preface this as saying the wrestlers have to do their job and sort of help sell this show and whatnot, but the promotion itself has to do that too. They can't just say, oh, well, we're not going to put anything on there really that people want to see. If you want to get a lot of people, especially more casual people that perhaps haven't seen TNA in a while or whatever it is, to come and see the show, or even new people that have never seen TNA before, you've got to give them a card, a show that they go, holy heck, what the hell is going on here? They've got all these, major guys, major gals, whatever else going on this show, all of these major matches and whatnot. And, they're going to have all these bangers, and they've got all these great stories and all of that sort of stuff that builds to this show, So, and they need to push wrestlers. You need superstars. And I don't like that term, superstars, because it is a bit weird of a term, honestly, especially in WWE, they use that term a lot. But the thing about saying somebody is a superstar, once everyone is a superstar, no one's a superstar, sort of thing, you know what I mean? You've got very few true superstars, you know what I mean? You've got a few icons and you've got a few legends and whatnot. You've got people that are potential future greats or whatever else it is, but again, you actually have very few modern day superstars sometimes, and I'm not just talking about WWE, I'm talking about TNA as well, but they do have a lot of superstars in their promotion too. But still, I like to try to sell out this arena, even like selling out whatever they have, which is basically like maybe half of the arena, or maybe thereabouts, I don't know. But yeah, even to sell out what they've opened is going to be a big challenge, and the rest of the arena, really, really big challenge, because they haven't even opened that up, because they don't think the demand's gonna, go above a certain number. But there is only like 1,000 something seats left, so they've mostly sold out those seats, so it's already over 4K. So that is good, but again, we really want to showcase that, yes, people will come and people want this. People want this show to succeed, and, if there was a platform for it, people would, come to see it in mass, not just in like dribs and drabs or whatever else. There is a huge demand for this, and again, we want TNA to be a high contender for that number 2 spot, you know, or try to be at least, you know. Yeah, so like it is up to them. They need to you know, pull their finger out and put together a good card, but we need to do as much as what we can to sell these tickets out as well, fam, because, you know, again, as I say, if they see, hey, you know, again, people are coming when we give them the chance to come to bigger arenas and when we put in the effort and whatnot. And again, saying, hey, people, you know, if this is true, maybe if we get a, you know, better TV deal, we'll get that more often and we'll get more money out of it, because that's, you know, it's the way things are. You know, we live in this world where we have to be making money currently. So that's how you need to look at things. You need to look at things through the lens of saying, okay, how does this make money? How do we, you know, make more money? How do we make more profit for this? You can't sit around and just go, oh, well, you know, we don't know what to do. Well, it's got to be obvious, you know, the obvious things, you know. To get bigger arenas, you need a bigger TV deal. To get bigger TV deals, you sometimes need bigger arenas. You know, you need to take those gambles. You need to show people, yes, we can actually sell out some big arenas and we can actually get people to come to these big shows, you know, and we can actually draw people to our shows, and we can make superstars, and we can make stories, and we can make events, and we can make all these things that people want to see, and we can do that on regular. Like, they've done some of that stuff, but they haven't done it on a big time scale, and they need to show that they can do it on a bigger time scale. That's the main issue, and we really need to push them to be their best. Like, we want, like, you know, we are a distant, like, third, but we want to be a close third or a close second, you know, like, so we need to keep pushing in that direction. We need to get them to see, okay, you know, this investment is worthwhile, and that, you know, if we do find that network, or we do expand the network, or we do get streaming, or both, you know, like, it's, you know, one of those things, we will see an uptick and we will see this grow, and, you know, we will see our investment returned, or whatever else it is. Or saying, hey, well, we will sell it, but who to? We really want to sell it, or the fans would really want us to sell it to somebody who gives a shit about this thing, and will find, you know, a place for it to be, you know, that close second, or at least something similar to that, you know. So that's what we want, that's what we've got to keep pushing for, and that's what, you know, is on the line. Because again, I think, like, some people don't really think about these things, and we need to sort of kind of state the obvious. Like, I've talked about it before, but, like, now it's really coming up, and now it's like, no, we need to, like, pull our finger out, and they need to pull their finger out, and hopefully everything can come together, and we can make, you know, this thing, you know, rise up from the ashes like a phoenix as it is, you know, like, so. But that's our challenge, that's what we've got to do, so hopefully we can do that. Anyway, guys, I know most of you guys that are mainstays here on the channel get it, but yeah, sometimes you've got to state the bleeding obvious to some people, and get these things out there. We've, you know, like, even just saying that to some people, you know, tell your friends, tell your family, tell anyone you know that used to be into wrestling, hey, you know, let's go check this show out. Why not? For funsies, you know, or whatever. Even if they're like, oh no, I don't think I'm really that interested, or whatever, you know. Nah, this is just for fun, you know, like, let's buy a ticket or whatever. It's a big time show. They've got the Hardys, they've got this, they've got that, whatever else is going on. So yeah, but guys, I hope you've enjoyed this one anyway, and I hope you guys will join me again in another one.